If you snap a one, please don't bang the table. That's all I ask.
No banging the table?
No bang, because you'll hurt the CD.
Can we
There's
snap
a CD
too?
in there. You don't want to bang the...
I
yeah.
see what you mean. Okay.
Sorry about that. It's the second time that's happened in 2 weeks. Hey everyone, welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young on this beautiful February 17th. Yes, it's still mid-February, but the temperature is rising outside. I was just outside waiting for my awesome guest here. The temperature feels like it's closing in on 60 degrees, and the ice is melting, the snow is melting. I'm getting a little spring fever like I had last Saturday. And we got a show to do tonight. Before we get to the spring fever, we got to do the show, and I'm looking forward to that as well because I have an awesome guest. But before we get to him, got to read these awesome underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we got Auto Country in Abington, king of the used car, and number one on the dealer raters in Massachusetts out of 4,500 of 2021. You got the 10th District Brewing Company in Abington. The other Auto Country is also in Abington, the first one. We got A1's Tire and Auto Center in Brockton. Always in search of service tech writers and desk people. We got Johnny Macaroni's restaurants in three locations, two in East Bridgewater, one in Halifax. We got Lynch's Towing, Auto Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton, one number for towing, one number for projects. We got Hawkeye Fence in Brockton, right on Route 123 with my old pal George Millette running the show there. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Bella Music Center in Norton. We got Auto Town Auto Glass installed in Abington. We got Speedy Oil Change in Abington. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Doggy Boutique, all breed professional grooming for dogs and cats in Brockton, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell. We got Easton Fitness right here in the Village Shops in Northeastern. We got RW Carpet Flooring. I couldn't even read my own writing. In Norton, business for 50 years, covering floors. And we got Joe's Diner in Taunton, and I want to thank you guys very much. And now finally, I'll introduce this young man, Jake Casper. He's an actor. He's a local young man from the area, the South Shore, and we're going to talk to him tonight, possibly look at a film clip he has. He's done some pretty cool stuff. And on that note, Jake, I want to thank you for coming in and being on my show tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I was super psyched when you reached out. This is really cool.
Yep, thank you. It is. I would argue if I could. All right, so like I do with every guest, this is the same old thing, but it's always fun. I try to find out what you were like as a young, you don't look too old, but tell me about what your life was like growing up, where you grew up, and how it got you into what you're doing now. Anything that pertains to what we talk about, if I find it interesting enough, I'll inquire. So go ahead.
Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, I'm the oldest of three. I grew up in Weymouth, so pretty local.
I've had several guests from Weymouth lately. That's great.
It's funny though, is I only was in Weymouth until I was probably about 9 or 10, and then I moved to Hanover.
Oh, okay, that's where you still reside today.
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay.
Was in New York for a little bit, but now I'm back here.
New York?
Yeah.
Why? What were you doing in New York?
Just pursuing acting.
Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, but all right, this is in your adult life, not as a child.
Yeah, pretty. It was.
That's when you went to New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But what did you do as a kid, though? What was your main, goals and aspirations?
Sure. So when I was a kid, I was really into fantasy stuff. Like,
okay.
I grew up.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, seriously. I grew up watching like all the 1980s movies that my dad showed me. Like
I know, Back to the Future.
Oh, favorite movie.
Yeah, I figured. How did I know that? You look like you're kind of like a young Michael J. Fox.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
he's cool. He's. I love Teen Wolf too. So that's.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. He was in that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my dad was like my first like really big influence into like movies. Like he introduced me to like to Star Wars.
Okay.
Princess
Yeah,
Bride.
Star Wars was the '70s. I remember when I wasn't even 18 when I first saw that.
Oh, really?
September 26, 1977. It was a Monday. I have a photographic memory for dates due to my autism, and I graduated high school. I was still set. My birthday is a week later. I turned 18 a week after that.
I gotta ask, was it like the coolest thing that you'd seen up at that point? Because I feel like everybody who went to go see the original Star Wars movie was.
Wait, you never saw it?
I mean, I've seen it, but I'm saying at the time, like when you first saw it in theaters, was it like the coolest thing?
Well, to be honest with you, okay, I was a fantasy fan myself. My favorite show of all time was Lost in Space. Growing up in the '60s, you ever see Lost in Space?
No.
You ever hear of it?
No, not
really?
till now. Yeah, never.
Oh man, you gotta do some googling, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Lost in Space. In fact, it featured one of an actor named Mark Goddard, who was still alive. He's about my mother's age. He was 85. He lives in Situate, I think.
Really?
Yeah. He has.
Wow.
And it's about the Robinson family. This family that went into outer space in the year 1997. Now remember, this show came out in the '60s. It began in like 1963 or 4. Ran until '68. Then it went on in syndication. It's still on in syndication, I believe, on Sci-Fi. But the story is about this family that went on a mission to find Alpha Centauri. It was sabotaged by this guy who was kind of we think, from the opening show, we looked named Dr. Smith. He turned out to be a spy for an enemy country or something.
Really?
But he turned out to be kind of a wuss, and he ended up he ends up thrown out. He tries to interfere with the mission because everyone in the Jupiter 2, that was the name of the spacecraft. They were all kept in suspended animation. Dr. Smith snuck on board, did something to the fuel pump, and it threw the whole thing off course. So they ended up, instead of going to Alpha Centauri, they just ended up having these adventures week after week.
That sounds like my type of show.
You got to see that.
I got to check that out. Yeah, for sure.
Google it. I'm sure you can find episodes on YouTube, at least snippets of it.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And the cast, and the funny thing is, the cast members they were all from different parts of the country. Well, Jonathan Harris, he was from the Bronx, I think, but Mark Goddard was the only Boston area person in the cast. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't notice this, but when I got older and I watched Lost in Space, I realized he was the only one in the cast that had a Boston accent.
Yeah, that gives it away.
It's true. I mean, but as a kid, I didn't notice that. But as an adult, I go, hey, he's the only one. Now he's in the area. I think my sister-in-law knows him a lot. He's done a few cable shows. I'd love to get him on here
That'd
on
be
Top
sick.
of Time.
Yeah,
it would. I don't know where I can find him. Hopefully, we'll get him on at some point. But if that's a show. And what about Star Trek? You know about Star Trek?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I've seen that. I've never watched like the old classic,
really?
like William Shatner. I mean, I've watched the new ones with.
What about the Twilight Zone?
I've seen some episodes. That's always with Rod Sterling.
Yeah, Rod Sterling, not Sterling. No
Sterling. Yeah. I've seen a few episodes. But no, I definitely have to watch some more.
The funny thing the amazing thing about the Twilight Zone is it premiered on the eve of my birth.
Oh, really?
On CBS TV, Friday, October 2nd, 1959.
That's crazy. Look at that. That's how you never forget it.
The timing couldn't have been better.
Yeah, right.
I'm always in the Twilight Zone.
Hey, me too.
Right, I know. All right, well, that's good. Now I'm glad I've caught you up. Now you catch me up a little bit. So as a kid, your father got you into science fiction, but so what did you do acting-wise as a kid? Did you do any school stuff, plays or films?
It's crazy. I never really did any like official like school plays.
Okay.
I would always do like skits and impressions and accents with my friends. And
okay.
I would always do, I don't know, I felt like I was always kind of like the class clown in school.
I get that about you.
So I was always kind of causing a little bit of havoc, kind of being really loud and always doing impressions of other people. And then I moved to Hanover, and then started going to school at Hanover.
How old were you when you moved to Hanover?
Probably about 9, I'd say.
Okay, so you were still a kid.
Yeah, but it's funny, is the school that I went to in Weymouth was like, it was a small private school.
Okay.
So I went there up until 8th grade.
So you moved to Hanover?
Yeah.
And okay, all right, was it like a parochial school?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you know St. Francis.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so did your parents think, why did they want from giving you a private school education to a public school education, right?
They just really love the town of Hanover. I mean, it's really...
No, I know, but what I'm saying is you didn't continue your parochial school when you moved. Then you started in public school in Hanover, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess your parents felt that it was okay for you to be educated in the public school system.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
Sure.
good.
Yeah.
All right, so it just sounds to me like if you were going to parochial school as a younger kid, you might have felt a little bit put upon, the nuns hitting you with rulers and stuff.
Nothing like that. Nothing too crazy.
And plus, it's ultra religious, and I don't know if that's. I mean, I don't know. I have not gone to private school. Mm-hmm. My parents wanted me to go. I never wanted to. I stuck it out in public school, got through all kinds of stuff, bullied all the time and stuff. But look where I am now. Who's laughing now, right?
Yeah, you're doing your thing. That's all any of us can do.
Okay. All right. Now, so when you got up a little older, mm-hmm. when you got to be a little older in Hanover, what did you do for acting there? Anything?
Honestly, I really didn't start acting until college. But
where'd you go to college?
I went to Fitchburg State.
Okay.
So I always, like in high school, like my big thing is I wanted to go for film. Like
okay.
I wanted to be a film student.
Yeah, I noticed that on your Facebook page. You have a history of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do directing.
Okay.
But yeah, originally I wanted to go to film school.
Okay.
And the best film school, I didn't get into Emerson.
Okay.
Which was like the best film school in the state. And the other really good choice was Fitchburg State.
Okay.
And it's funny is I applied for the film program.
Okay.
But I didn't get in.
Where, in Fitchburg State?
Yeah, I didn't get into the film program.
Why not?
No idea.
Okay, well that's fine, but you went around the barrier and you did it anyway.
Well, actually no. So
no, I don't mean that. I mean you still made the most of the situation. You still did. Okay.
It's funny how it worked out because I went to a student orientation.
Okay.
And I was talking to one of the film professors and I was like, "Can I switch into this major?"
Okay.
And he looked at me and was like, "No, you can't switch into the major.
Wow,
Which,
what an
I know,
attitude.
right?
Jeez,
Exactly.
He's popping an attitude with you. That's not
Yeah,
good.
what's up with that? And then it's
Right.
funny. The theater teacher,
Yep.
the awesome professor, his name's Kelly Morgan.
Okay, man or woman?
Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gets that a lot, but he's
Kelly, he could be.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, he overheard and he was like, "Hey, don't listen to him. Come sign up, be a theater."
Oh, that's awesome.
He's like, "Be a theater major."
Sounds like a cool dude.
Super cool guy.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from him.
Okay.
But he was like, "Yeah, come sign up for theater and then you can be in all the movies." And I was
Awesome.
like, I'll think about it.
Well, what did you do?
I didn't. I actually I majored in history.
Okay.
And then about maybe two years after that,
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I really should have gone back to.
Why did you not do it? You were so hot. You were so hot to do filming.
I know. Well, I guess I was just bitter because I didn't get into the
Yeah,
film
but this
program.
is a guy that he was giving you an opportunity and you didn't take it.
I know. Well, my thing is
Is there a little voice inside your head saying there are better things outside this realm? Just wait it out. You know,
Sort
like
of.
they do in a science fiction movie when you see
Sort of.
an oracle up in the air, it's talking to people, giving them advice.
I think for me it was more like I was never really into theater.
Oh,
I was more
see.
into film.
Right, but that's what I'm. Oh, so I understand. So this Professor Kelly, he told you do theater, but you can get in. But he tried to lure you in by saying you could be in films. But why didn't that work? Didn't you know you could work your way into films?
I never really thought about it. I was pretty young at the time,
All right,
and
you did what you did. All right, so
Yeah.
then what happened?
Well, I woke up one day and all my friends were film majors because I made
Okay.
friends with all the film majors at the
Okay.
school, and they were constantly casting for their film projects.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try acting. So
There you go.
I did my first student film, and then after I
This
wrapped.
is Fitchburg State, right?
Yeah, Fitchburg
Okay.
State. And
Yep.
after I wrapped on that, I was like, that was like the most fun I've ever had.
Well, tell me about what role did you play in the film?
I
What
played.
film was it?
It was a movie. It was a short film. It was a student BFA film called Appear Offline.
Okay.
And looking back on it, like I look at it, I'm like, oh man, my acting was not good in that. But yeah, no. So I played this guy who's meeting up with one of his friends that he always plays video games with online.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like it. Okay.
And my character is, he's a lot different than how he appears online.
Okay.
And they both realize.
I'm like a predator, maybe.
Not so much a predator, more like an innocent. He's more like annoying. He's really loud.
Oh, I
kind of
got it.
obnoxious.
Okay, comical.
Yeah, sort of. He's like comical, and then the other guy is having trouble like relating to him, and he's like, oh man, this guy's really annoying in person.
That sounds fun to me.
So yeah, no, it was. Eventually, they do end up becoming friends, and they win the video game tournament that they're going to.
Okay.
So
that sounds cool. That sounds like a nice little film. Okay. Well, guess what? We're 12 minutes through the show, and speaking of acting in your films,
Sure.
we're going to take a look at a little demo reel for Jake, and we'll be right back. And we're going to talk about it when we come back. So keep watching.
So I was thinking about making a character that was very like magical and draconic.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about being a dragonborn wizard. So
Okay.
some of the elements that I was thinking of was first I thought, thunder or ice, but I was like, no, those are like pussy elements, right?
Right, yeah,
So
sure.
I want to go to the original fire, right? So it'd be really cool, like I have fire breathing coming out of my mouth, and I have these awesome ideas with these like swords and stuff, right? So
Hey,
then I had
Nate,
these-
why don't you tell me about your character when we go over the descriptions later on when we're all seated?
Oh. Yeah, that's no problem.
Do you know where to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Traumatic experiences can be hard to talk about. Sorry, that was obvious.
Can we talk about something else? Literally anything else.
Yeah, sure. How did that report on that new therapy method go? So good?
Doug disregarded all of my work. He threw the whole thing out.
What? That's horseshit.
I know, that's what I said.
No, Jess, you gotta fight this.
Are you okay? You've been sleeping for quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm fine. I've just been kind of tired lately, I guess.
Did you want me to put that order in for you now?
I still haven't figured it out.
Did you take a look at our specials?
No, actually, I didn't even see that there.
Refill on your coffee?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Anything jumping out at you?
Yeah, can I get the French toast? But can I get that with like a side of whipped cream, and then a cup of water too?
You got it.
Hey man, can you come in here? I really don't know what's going on.
What?
No, you don't understand. I just
Oh
mean, like
shit, Bill! How much did you fucking
I didn't do anything.
All right. Stay here. Put him on his side. I'll be right back. All right?
Okay.
What's wrong with him? He has diabetes. Type 1. Fuck. All right, you gotta stay here. I gotta get a syringe, all right?
So our sophomore year of high school, there was this huge scandal. All right, let me set the scene. It was a Friday night, like any other. October, brisk. And we were at the football game, and our principal was there for once.
What happened?
Well, let's just say your boyfriend left a little present on the windshield of his car. Oh, what the fuck? Stop!
Ew! Jesus, Rod!
Hey, shh. We still don't know who the culprit was.
Oh, that was great. Tell me about what we just watched.
Yeah, so a bunch of clips in there.
Okay.
A lot of stuff that is recent, but not so recent. I have some stuff that's still, being worked on right now.
In the can, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, one of those clips is from a project that I worked on called Weekend in Waterville.
Okay. Maine? Would that be Maine?
No, well, it's filmed in Keene, so it's based off of Keene, New Hampshire, but it's a fictional town.
When I think of Waterville, I think of Waterville, Maine.
I mean, it could be. I've never actually asked the director.
Oh, all right, that's fine.
But yeah, so that one was we filmed that in Keene, New Hampshire.
Right.
It's about these two guys who rob a college student and when they rob him, they find an $8,000 check in his wallet.
And you're the guy that one of the robbers, right?
No, I play.
You're the victim.
I'm the victim.
You're the victim.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
should have seen that, but that's okay.
No, it's all good. I play the college student. So the banks are closed and they don't want to go to an ATM because you can't. Because it's the weekend.
Okay.
So what they do is they take me hostage and we have a weekend together where we all kind of bond and become friends in the process.
Okay.
And go on all these.
So in other words, it looks like it's going to be a violent film, and it turns out to be a kind of a funny film.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I got
Yeah.
it. That's sweet. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we just found out literally last week too that we won.
Oh, wow.
Pretty big for a film festival on that. We won the best student short. At the IndieX Film Festival in Los Angeles.
Cool! Wow.
So, yeah, we're pretty psyched.
So what does that entitle? What does that entitle you to? Are they going to ask you to work some more?
I don't know.
I mean, you think somebody out in Hollywood is going to just call you and say, "We have a role for you"?
I don't.
I mean, that's a possibility if it's in Hollywood. My goodness.
It'd be cool, but the way that it works is so each month they do a film festival.
Okay.
And then they choose the top 12 at the end of the year.
Okay, well, where do they hold this film festival?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay,
so, yeah,
right.
So hopefully we get invited to the premiere. I don't know when they do that for like the yearly ones, but right now we're in contention, so we got to beat out 12 other.
I know,
films
I understand.
And hopefully,
and of course, you're not going to stop with this film. There's going to be more films down the line.
Oh, yeah,
and even if
yeah.
you don't get it this year, there's other years coming up.
Exactly.
You still got plenty of time, and
Sure.
the fact that you got nominated at all is incredible.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a shock to us because we submitted to a bunch of film festivals and we're like, wow, this one in LA picked us up.
That's great. Now who does the submitting? You and who's in this group with you that you're?
So my friend Garrett, who I actually met on the set of Weekend in Waterville, he's kind of the producer, the writer. Him and I have been working a lot
Derek?
together.
That
No, Garrett.
Oh, Gary. Okay,
yeah,
I thought he wasn't on my show, was he?
Not yet. No.
Oh, we'll get him on then. That's fine.
He's a great dude.
Okay,
he's an
cool.
awesome writer, really funny guy,
Okay.
great actor too.
I'm sure. I can see that. But go on.
Yeah. So we've been working on a lot of projects together. We did another film called Poppy Hunters, which we filmed.
That sounds like you went to Afghanistan find the best weed in the world, right?
Yeah, sort of. It's kind of like that.
I got it.
Yeah.
Those low budget drug films are the funniest. Remember Half Baked?
Yeah.
Do you know who Sarah Silverman is, the comedian?
Yeah.
She's my cousin.
No way, really?
She is, and her sister Laura is also my cousin, obviously, and she was in that.
That's too funny.
They flew her up to Toronto to film that.
She does a lot of funny stand up.
They do. I know
Yeah.
she does. Yeah. Hey, listen, we come from the same stock.
That's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay, but all right. So you did that, and then so you got out. You sent it out to LA. Who does this? Who does like the PM the marketing? Is
Sure.
what I'm saying for you guys.
Yeah, that's
Public relations. I mean.
Yeah, that's mostly my partner Garrett.
Gary. Okay, it's just you guys together.
No, we've got kind of a crew that we're actually filming another project in a few months. But
Okay.
right now it's Garrett who's mainly the writer producer. And
Okay.
He acts as well. Our friend John Barbetto, who's an actor.
Okay.
And then we have Riley, who's the DP, so he does all the cinematography.
Okay.
And we have our other friend Cam, who does all the audio too.
Cool,
So
okay.
the past few months, we've just been making a lot of projects and building up our reels by doing that.
And
so.
just sending them out there, sending
Pretty
them all
much,
over.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, Garrett's an amazing writer too. He always comes in with some really cool scripts.
All right, so how many projects have you worked on with these guys so far since you started? How long is it, and how long have you been doing it for?
So I met them on Waterville.
And then how long ago was that?
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did that in 2020.
Yeah, right. That's 2 years ago.
Yep,
And then, of
and
course, the
then-
virus probably screwed things up, threw a monkey wrench into it. Yeah.
A little bit, as it did for everybody. And then
Of
we
course.
did Poppy Hunters in 2021. So,
Okay.
So this year.
Yeah, this is 2022.
I know. It's
Okay.
crazy.
I
Time's
know.
flying.
The year went by fast.
And then we've got another project that we're working on in the spring called Burnout.
Okay.
It's about these group of college kids who go to a cabin in the woods to go party and have some fun, and a massive.
I hope there were girls in this film, too.
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
There are. There's a massive solar flare that happens that
Okay.
knocks out all of their electrical equipment and all their all the satellites. So they're kind of stuck in the wilderness and their car won't start.
Kind
so
of
they
like that
have to-
commercial with Geico, and they say, if you're in a horror movie, you always make bad decisions.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
definitely some bad decisions being made.
That's funny. I like it.
But yeah, so right now we're starting the casting process up. And,
Okay. Now, how do you I mean, do you reach out to people in Facebook? How do you get your newbies
Sure.
coming in to to audition?
So I usually leave that up to Garrett because he's kind of like the.
Well,
creative
I
head.
know. How does he do it? What does he do?
So what we'll do is we'll post either on Facebook or Backstage, which is where a lot of the casting breakdowns are posted. And
Now that Backstage, that's a Facebook group, is it?
no, so it's actually a website.
It's
So
a website,
Yeah,
got
it's
it.
like
I'm thinking of Hollywood East.
it's sort
Well,
of like
I
that.
know the
yeah.
girl who founded that because I interviewed her, Erica Derrickson. I don't know.
I've never met her.
Oh,
no.
she's beautiful.
Sounds familiar though.
I did an in-home interview with her October 13th of 2012. It was a Saturday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in Malden, almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Time
so
flies.
yeah, but that's great though. Now, are you affiliated with Boston Casting or any of the other casting companies?
Sure. So I've auditioned for Boston Casting. I've auditioned for CP Casting.
Okay.
They're really nice. They've brought me in for a lot of to read.
They
a lot
have.
of cool
Okay, so
projects,
they've gotten you into some stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they're great. They offer a lot of really good classes.
I know
too.
they do, yeah.
I took classes at CP Casting.
That's out in Orange, Mass, right?
No, it's actually in South Boston. So
Oh, it
it's on
is?
K
Okay,
Street, yeah.
because I went out there for an audition in 2017, and I went all the way to Orange, Mass, which is like
Really?
almost near Amherst.
Maybe they're setting up like a production office.
Well, right. It was
Yeah.
something out there. I didn't get the part anyway. I'm okay doing this, but I've been in a few films too. But it sounds like you guys have definitely got the ball rolling for indie films, and you're always doing them. And you're always who does the writing? Who does script writing for you guys? Do you do you all like brainstorm?
Yeah, but we'll come up with ideas together. I mean, we do comedy shorts, and,
Okay.
and if one of us has an idea, we'll pass the idea on to
Do the rest of you guys?
exactly.
I know.
We'll all
Okay, the
think about it,
group.
think it over, and yeah, my buddy Garrett's he's like the writer. He
Okay.
does all the writing.
Okay. Now, have you ever? Now you look athletic. You play sports at school at all?
I played baseball.
Okay.
And
You look like you could be. You look like you could
yeah,
whack a few.
I was okay. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I was like
You're
amazing.
a humble guy, but that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, no, I played baseball, but that was really the only sport that I played. I mean, I did golf in high school, but I don't really consider that a sport.
Now, I'm listening to you talk right now, and it almost sounds like you could do kind of like a nerdy voice in a comedy, like
yeah,
Chris Elliott.
Yeah, I've gotten Michael Cera a lot. Which
Yeah,
is
you
like,
got that. You got a funny
Yeah.
voice, like you could make it funny, just the way if you wanted to, and
Yeah.
just hearing you talk would crack a lot of people up.
Thank you.
Have you ever done stand up yourself, or attempted it?
No, would love to. Honestly, I'm thinking about taking a stand-up class though. Would really like to do that.
Well, you might want to think about your own life and write some material from that.
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot
That's what I
could.
mean.
Yeah.
That's my point. I like to give advice to my guests that could behoove them down the line.
Yeah. No, I
Like-
think I might. I appreciate you saying that.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, what are you working on currently then?
So right now, I'm actually attached to the Boston Strangler movie that's
Wow.
shooting here. Yeah.
That
so.
the big one? What are you doing in that?
I have a very. I can't say
can't
too
say
much.
too much.
Say
All right,
too
no
much.
problem.
I have a very small part, but
Yep.
it's.
There are no
it's-
small parts. I mean,
Yeah.
This
This is my first big studio produced film.
Did
I've ever
who
done.
got you? Did Boston Casting get you into that?
So CP casting.
CP
here's
did. Okay,
CP
I
casting,
think they're
yeah.
actually giving people more stuff than Boston Casting is now. They were quite a competitor.
It depends on what type of.
Yeah, I guess it probably does.
Film,
I mean, yeah.
I think CP tends to gravitate more towards like independent films.
Oh, it does. And Boston Casting's the bigger one. But
Yeah.
but the Boston Strangler film, this is a big one, right?
Yeah, it's a really big one. It's,
Yeah, that's what I
produced
thought. I remember I saw it advertised on TV.
It's gonna be from what I've seen in the script. It's really well written and
Yep.
it's got an awesome cast and I'm super excited. to be
Yeah,
part
I
of
can
it.
blame you for being super excited, and you're in it, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And just you have a little extra role, but you can't give too much away.
Yeah, right now at least.
Okay, we'll
Hopefully soon though. That'd be nice.
Well, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we made it go by. So what I want you to do is look at the camera, give shouts out to people that are going to see the show, friends, family members, and then we'll wrap it up with my music the way we began it.
Sounds good.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
You
So
condense them, and that's fine.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So just family, friends. Thanks for tuning in. I know everybody's been really psyched to watch this, and honestly, I appreciate you guys just supporting me and being there all the time, and it really does mean a lot. So thanks for watching.
Okay, well, I hope you had fun.
Yeah, I had a blast. This was cool.
All right, now the other thing is, what I ask all my guests is, if you did have a good time with me, I want you to spread the word about Topic Time.
Sure.
The people in your production crew, I'd like to have them text me. We'll get them on as guests.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Absolutely.
Now, is there anything on the horizon you want to? Have you ever done anything musical at all? By the way, you ever played instruments, sang?
No, I mean I've done karaoke in bars.
Okay,
That's essentially it.
Well, if you sound good, it'll get people's attention. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I was going to say, do you have anything like going on that you overlooked, that you didn't mention, that you might have overlooked, that you wanted to mention? If not, I just wanted to clear that up so you don't leave here and say I forgot to say this or that.
No, I mean I like I said, this year we got a lot of projects coming. I got Boston Strangler.
Yep.
I also have this series that I shot over the summer called Balls of Tin, which is
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
a really
okay.
funny show that's going to be coming out hopefully soon.
Okay.
We're going to a screening next week for the first 3 episodes.
Cool.
So I'm excited to see that, and that's an awesome cast, an awesome crew.
Okay.
And then just Burnout, which we're making with my friend Garrett and the whole crew from Steelhouse Media.
Great.
So,
I'm glad I asked. That way,
Yeah,
now
I appreciate you asking.
covered it. All right. So great job, Jake. Are you ready to wrap the show up the way we started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye. All right.